Hi Gemini, my name is Kim. Welcome to my channel. So today for the meditative session, I got the 10 of Swords. But the good thing about the 10 of Swords in this deck is it's not like the 10 of Swords in the Rider-Waite where, you know, it's like someone with 10 swords going through them. I think this 10 of Swords could be that you're kind of stepping onto a new path. That's what I'm getting, like stepping onto a new path. Like there's a door open for you and you're like, there's something new ahead of you and you're going towards, like you're going in that door, you're going through that doorway. I don't know, there's something present right now in your life that is new, or like a new opportunity. It's not even an opportunity, it's just like, it could be a new way of being, a new way of thinking. Kind of leaving something in the past behind and going forward in a new direction. That's what I want to say. Could be like the end of a cycle and the start of something new, like a new beginning, but a little bit different. Anyway, that's what I got for your meditative session, Gemini. Let's get into the cards and see what we get. Okay, Gemini, when I was doing a meditation, I saw kind of a doorway into a new way, or through a new way of being. And that's kind of what I'm getting when I have these cards presented to me. It's kind of like the old way of doing things and now the new way of doing things. So I think like walking through this doorway or walking through this pathway is helping you do things a new way. Like the way that you see things is new, kind of just like a new experience, a new reality that you're making for yourself. And it doesn't have to mean like you're traveling somewhere or you're moving somewhere. It's just the choice that you're making on a daily, like how do I explain this? The choice that you're choosing to make daily to perceive things and just do things a different way, like doing things differently from the old way that you did it in the past. So with the Two of Swords and the Mother, with the Two of Swords, what I'm getting, it's not like there's a decision to be made. I mean, maybe there was a decision that you needed to walk through this pathway, but what I'm really getting is like there is a duality to you. And at first it was really hard to integrate this, like to be this dual energy, to have, like, you know, you're a Gemini, right? You have two sides, the two sides of you. And I think it was really hard for you to integrate those two sides into who you were. But I see, like, as you walk through this doorway, you are going to be able to integrate them, because with the Empress or the Mother, it's someone who's like fully integrated both the light and the dark, the shadow and the shadow aspects of herself and the good aspects of herself. And I just see with this card, it's kind of like, even it has like a beam, like the justice beam, and it's completely balanced. And I feel like, yeah, like maybe you've integrated both the light and the dark in yourself, and you're finally able to kind of take a step back and, like, you know, there's things about ourselves that we don't like, right? There's things that we do that other people notice, and then maybe we don't notice about ourselves, but we do. Like things that might annoy people, that things that, you know, people see us very clearly. And I think it's like, well, you do know some of those aspects of yourself. You do know some of those, you know, the negative qualities about yourself. And you're learning, like, you know what, instead of like sending them away, I'm just going to learn to love them and embrace them, because that's who I am. And that's how you fully become the Mother, by truly embracing both the light and the dark within you, both those good and negative qualities that you have. We all have negative qualities. We all have things that people can point out and be like, well, you know, you do this sometimes, and sometimes you do that. And I mean, we all have those qualities, right? So I think with the mother, you're learning to fully integrate both sides of them. And if you look, like, there's the light in the palm, like there's like those little lights, and it's like, I think there's also like the chakras. It's like becoming fully aligned with yourself, that light and that dark side. It's all one, right? In the book it says, like, when you create something, you're also destroying something. When you love something, you also fear that it's going to be lost. Like, there's a duality to everything in life, and it's like things that we don't even notice. And I think you're just really learning also, like, the duality of other people, the way that other people do have their good and their dark sides, the way that there is no perfect person. Do you know what I'm saying? And then what I'm also seeing for the five of wands and the scribe, it's like you've learned to kind of, instead of fighting with people, and maybe like this is like another way, it's like, aside from the duality aspect, it's like, okay, so sometimes I wasn't able to integrate to embrace my dark side. Sometimes I fought with people, but now, like, with the scribe at the bottom of this, it's kind of like, I'm speaking so fast, it's like I'm like choosing not to fight anymore. Like, I've already learned that it's not worth it. Like, fighting with people is not worth it. If people can't see my point of view, if people can't see who I am, if people choose to fight with me, and people are choosing to engage with me and like be in a low vibe like energy, or maybe I used to engage in fighting, I used to be in a low vibe energy, I used to be like a person who used to like engage in this low energy thing. And it's like, now with the scribe, it's like, I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm not going to put myself in situations where, you know, I'm going to let anger control me. I feel like there's something to do with anger here, like a quality of anger, like, oh, like, I'm just choosing not to do that anymore, because I've already gained enough knowledge to know that it's like, most of the time it's not worth my time, right? Most of the time, like, when you fight or you argue, or like, sometimes people, like, there is such a thing as divine anger and divine rage, but there's another type of anger and rage which there's like gets nothing done. And I feel like that's the type of rage that you're just putting away, the rage of like people not understanding you, people not being on your side on like in arguments, people kind of leaving, whatever like the situation is of like fighting, you're just like putting it down. It's like, it's not worth it anymore. Like, I have enough knowledge to know, like, I don't have to engage in this type of behavior to get what I want. I don't have to engage in this type of behavior anymore, because it's not who I am. It's just like, it's like, I don't want to say it's beneath me, but it's like, it's beneath you. With the perception card, I also see it's like, maybe before you had one type of way of seeing things, and now with the crone under it, it's like you're seeing things from all different aspects, from all different angles. It's like we only like, if we don't know what's within, and we don't sense like our feelings and our thoughts, if we don't go within, then that's a whole type of, like, when it's time to make a decision, if we're not even looking within for how we feel, how we're thinking, if that's one aspect of ourselves that we don't do, then our decision is going to be wrong most of the time. It's like, if you don't have enough knowledge about a question on a test, if you don't know the knowledge, you're going to get the answer wrong, right? And it's like, perception is based on knowledge, perception is based on feelings, perception, the way that you like perceive life is based on all these things. Like, oh, like, I felt this way that day, I thought like this, but the only way to know your feelings and know your thoughts is to look within. So let's just say you didn't look within, and you're kind of like you're kind of like a shell, like you haven't looked within yourself. I want to say like you're an empty shell, like you haven't looked within. So like your perception on a lot of things is going to be different, right, than someone who like does look within. It's like people in the tarot community who are like more spiritually based. If you talk to someone who's more religious based, they're going to have a different answer. They're going to see things differently, because they're, you know, religion and spirituality are very different, right? And it's not like people who are religious are going to perceive tarot in one way, but people who are spiritual are going to perceive tarot in one way. So like, knowledge comes with perception, and I feel like you're changing your perception about something because you've gained knowledge recently, or like things have come to light to you. Just how like you're integrating your dark and your light, just how you're like, oh, I'm not going to get into this like low vibe energy anymore. It's also like, you know, if I have this new knowledge now, or I've looked inward. I know like who I am, and that has enabled me to become like the crone who, she's working with spirit, she's on the right path, and like there is only one path, right? And just like there's a doorway at the 10 of Swords card, there's a doorway here where she's like walking kind of into and it was like black and it was like full of stars, and same here, it's like black and full of stars. It's like working with the integration of yourself, knowing who you are, knowing like who you are within and without, knowing who other people are. It's just like a full, like, I know everything. I just feel like a lot of big moves. What I also see with the hero card, I mean, sometimes it could be like that we're acting like the hero, but other times I see it as someone who's kind of working in ego, someone who's kind of cocky, someone who's kind of just like exercising their right to things because of their ego. And I feel like that's something that you're dropping, and you're learning to like love yourself, love who you are without the ego. It's like really hard to be ourselves sometimes. I mean, sometimes it comes like easier for others to just be their genuine self, but sometimes it's hard to, kind of like step out and be like, oh, like this is who I am, and do everything the way like the way that society would see us. You know what I mean? Like we have to have that ego, that like part to protect us. And I feel like you kind of are dropping that, and you're just representing like who you are, like the true self that you are. And in that comes like all this love for yourself. I don't know, this is like a really beautiful reading. It's just a lot of integration, a lot of like knowing who you are, a lot of like wisdom, I want to say, learning to take all the, I wanted to say shit, all the things that's happened to you, and learning how to integrate it and get to like an advanced, not an advanced level, but just like working with spirit, like not engaging in low vibe energy anymore, kind of shutting the ego down and saying like, no, this is who I actually am. If you look, like it's like completely different like looks too. It's like this person's full of armor, right? This person, they're covered in armor because they can't really show, it's like they have a mask on, right? They can't show who they are. They have to like protect themselves. I don't even say like it's like a mask. It's more of like an armor. It's like I need to go out and I have to protect myself because I don't know what's gonna like happen today. I have to protect myself. And here it's like you're kind of, and she's not naked, but she definitely doesn't have like armor on or a lot of clothing. She's kind of like one with, I want to say that, I think that's water or the mountain or whatever. She's like one with all the elements. Just someone who's, just working on herself and loving who that person is, even though it has taken a lot of work to get into this place, and it's going to keep taking work to keep like progressing, and it's going to take work every day to kind of take these lessons that you've learned and learn to use them in your everyday life. But you've already learned the lesson, so it's just about like integrating it, right? And with the 4 of Cups, I just see is like exactly what we've been talking about, like a full integration of self. Like you're just looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this is who I am. And like if you see like this person has been hurt, this person has scars on the right side of their face, something maybe about the right side of your body, I don't know. Like they're missing an eye on the right side in this card. And I think it's also just such a Gemini card. The mirror has 2 faces on it. And I think it's like this person's looking at themselves and they're like, it's okay, like everything that I've been through, I kind of appreciate the process that I've been through, and also these scars kind of have made me who I am, right? Like you couldn't have learned all of these things without having scars. And that's just like, it's a sad truth, right? Like, like they say, like the way we learn is through mistakes. Like the best way to, like, you fall down on your bicycle and you have to get back up, and you have to like, you're like, oh, I won't do that again. I have to like do this when I'm on the bicycle this time because I can't, If I don't, I'll just fall off. And it's like, how many times have you fallen off that bicycle and had to get back up? And it's just like a beautiful process that you've gone through to become like the Empress, I want to say. And like all these bad, you know, on the bottom, you know, like there's so, we have the Empress, the Crone, the Scribe, the Empress. The Empress is someone who's fully, like, she's all the queens combined, right? She's like the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups. She's all of them combined. And then the Scribe is like the most intellectual person. Like, he has all the knowledge. He's like a library. He's like a professor. Like, he has all the knowledge. Like, if you have any questions, you go to the Scribe. The Crone is like the one that's working with spirit. You know what I mean? Like, like the Empress on steroids, I want to say. Like the Empress on like another level. Like, she's already, how do I explain the Crone? Yeah, sorry, I had to think, like, okay, the Crone is, yeah, so the Crone is, you know, it's like through the stages of living. Like, you're the child, then you're a young adult, then you're a mom, you know what I mean? And then you're like, I don't want to say like the old lady, but like the older person, the older female would be the Crone. And why is the Crone so special? It's because, why are like older people revered? They're revered because they have so much knowledge, they have so much wisdom. And that's what I was saying before. It's like, this person has so much wisdom, they have so much knowledge, they don't have to like ask anybody for what they want. They just do what they want. Like, they're completely free. That's what I'm saying. They're like a completely free person. They don't look to other people's perspectives or perception on them. Like, they don't really care, because they're gonna do what they want anyway. And just like this full integration of self, the way that you're able to love yourself throughout this whole thing, this whole process, and you're able to like look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, you know what, all these scars that I have, I'm actually glad that I have them, because I learned so much from them. So yeah, Gemini, this is a really beautiful reading. I don't even think you need advice, but let's see what the advice is for you. Okay, guys, I've shuffled for a while and I wasn't getting any cards from the Divine Feminine deck. And I think the reason for that is that we have all these like feminine energies down here with the Love, the Crone, and the Mother. And I think those are like that's like kind of the guidance. It was already kind of given it to you. Like, you already know what it is and it's already been given to you. You're already integrating it, right? So we don't have to go back into talking about like, you know, why the Crone and the Mother like, and like your own self are people that you should look up to or admire or like have lessons. You've already gone through so many lessons. Like there's no message there is what I'm trying to say, but it's not a bad thing. And what I'm getting with Koala Spirit has a plan, and surrender now. I think it's like kind of a sign to kind of rest right now. I'm not getting like, it's not like you are resting. I think you're working, but I think it's like telling you to kind of take it, like, you know, when like someone says like stop and smell the roses. It's like you've done all this work and you've come so far, and the koala is kind of chilling in the tree and he's just like looking at you like you did such a good job. Like, I feel like it's like a face of admiration. Like, both of these cards have something to do with, like, I mean, they're obviously the Spirit deck, but I'm getting like with Spirit has a plan and surrender now to Spirit. It's kind of saying like, maybe take a break from, or like if you didn't know that you were doing a good job, this is confirmation that you are, and that like if you need to take a rest, or if you need like, I don't know, I'm getting something like rest, like take it, not even rest, like take time to enjoy life, like take time to smell the roses. Like, that's what I'm getting. Like, after all this hard work that you've done, it's like time to enjoy life, like go have fun is what I want to say. Like, so it's not really rest, it's more of like go out and do something fun for yourself because you deserve it. You've done a lot of work, and you know, Spirit is just like congratulating you and like saying that you've done a really, really, really good job. That's what I'm really getting from Koala. And I really like how you got the Moth Spirit, because the moth surrender now, it kind of has like the same, like the duality, like the two sides. I don't know, I just think it's like a really beautiful card for Gemini. So Gemini, this is what I have for you this week. Thank you so much for being on my channel. I love you guys. See ya.